Night hear the best stories in Lancaster. My name is Carla Wilson and I am the event producer of this awesome night of stories. For your calendar, please mark the fourth Tuesday of each month where we are here hosting Lancaster Story Slam at 7 p.m. Typically on this night, you will hear 8 to 10 storytellers speaking on our stage, and we are so happy that you are here to join us in our audience this evening. I'm going to start with a couple of housekeeping items, and then we'll get started because we have a lot of storytellers this evening. I'd like to recognize my Story Slam team members. At the door, you met Vicki, Dan, and Doug. Melissa helped us out at the information table, and Kelly is here helping with the video camera and social media, and my husband David is running sound and recording audio for our podcast. Please give them a round of applause. I'm up here, I guess I'm the face of this event, but I could not do it without my team. Don't forget that we are recording both audio and video of tonight's stories. The winning story video will be on our YouTube channel by tomorrow around noontime. The rest of the videos will follow by the weekend. We will choose 3 stories from tonight's event and produce a podcast, and that will be released on Apple Podcasts in about 2 weeks, so be sure to subscribe to both channels. I would like to announce that Lank Living Realty is our podcast sponsor again for 2020. It is their, thank you. It is their generous sponsorship that helps us defray our production costs, so we are very appreciative of their sponsorship. Please keep them in mind for your real estate needs. If you are a listener of our podcast, we'd love it if you would leave a rating and review on Apple Podcasts. Remember, if you're a social creature, we'd love it if you would post on social media using the hashtag #LankStory. One other very important announcement before we get started. We are very excited to announce that Lancaster Story Slam is going to be offering 2 storytelling workshops in March. We're trying to get the dates figured out, but there will be 2 dates in March. We're even more excited to announce that our very own Tony Crocamo will be leading those workshops. Yippee! The 2 workshops will cover the building blocks of storytelling and the techniques of storytelling. So if you think about it, content, presentation. You'll be able to register for one or both, and we will have more details coming soon in our newsletter, on our website, on our social channels. If you are interested, please sign up for our newsletter, which we have some sign-up sheets at the information table at the back of the room. Or feel free to see me, Melissa, or Tony after we announce tonight's winner. I'm going to introduce our MC in a moment, who will tell us the rules for tonight's blank canvas stories, and then he's going to share his story. As you know, we have room for 8 to 10 storytellers, and so far this evening, 11 folks have signed up to tell a story. Woo-woo! So that means you're going to get to hear 12, because you'll be telling a story as well. Woo! 12 stories this evening. So we're going to hear 6 stories, take an intermission, and hear the remaining 6. Please allow me to introduce our MC for this evening, David Smith. David is a video producer, teacher, and storyteller. He's currently putting his stories together for a show called We're Here to Shoot the Governor, My Adventures in Filmmaking. Please welcome to the stage, David Smith.
She's not the face of the operation, she's the heart and soul of it. Carla Wilson, thanks for keeping this going. It's a lot of fun. How many people were at the Grand Slam? That was a fun night, wasn't it? The rest of you missed out. Sold out, yeah, like tonight. This thing keeps growing and growing, it's great. You want to get right to the rules? We got a lot to do tonight. Let's just get to it. All right, I'm allowed cheat sheets because I'm the host. Welcome. Tonight's theme, blank canvas. Here are the rules for all our storytellers. Story should reflect the theme of the evening, which is?
Blank canvas.
Thank you. The story should be true to the best of your recollection. You're beating me in my own shtick. No notes, no props, no music. We can't afford the rights. It's just you and the microphone. The story should be about 5 minutes long. At the 5-minute mark, you will hear, that means wrap it up. At the 6-minute mark, are we giving them 6 tonight? All right, at the 6-minute mark, you're going to hear, and that means, oh my God, enough! We have all 3 of our judges. Where are our judges? Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Excellent. Round of applause for our judges, please. It's a tough job. You spend all day giving people your opinions on Facebook. Now we need you. The judges will be scoring on 2 categories. A score of between 1 and 10 in these 2 categories. Content, meaning, does your story have substance? Is there a story arc? Is there a beginning, a middle, and an end to it? Preferably an end to it within the 5-minute mark. Also, you're being scored between 1 and 10 on presentation, right? How is your delivery? Is it engaging? Do you engage the audience? Do you captivate them? That's what we're looking for here tonight. And judges, I'd like to remind you, whole numbers only. After a couple of beers, people are often tempted to use fractions, and that just makes Carla's head explode. Whole numbers only. Tonight's winner will receive the coveted pint glass, which the lovely Carla Wilson is displaying for you now. And a place in our Grand Slam in November, which is a good time to be had by all. Everybody clear on those rules? Do I have to recap for anybody? All right. I think I got everything right. Yeah, I think that's everything. Did I miss anything?
I don't think so.
When Carla called and said, hey, will you host the show? I said, yes, please, thank you, super. What's the topic? And she said, blank canvas. And I said, great, super, thank you. And I tried to figure out which one of my stories would fit blank canvas and couldn't come up with anything. So I sat down at my computer and opened up Word to my story writing template, started trying to write a blank canvas story, and I sat there, and the cursor just kept blinking at me, and blinking at me, and blinking at me. I thought, it's trying to send me a message. It's Morse code. L-O-S-E-R. I thought maybe there would be a play on words or a pun I could use on blank canvas. And so I asked some friends, some artist friends. The first one said, don't ask artists because they're too self-involved and they'll just tell you anything to get you to go away. The second one said, blank canvas meant 2 things to him. First, the most exciting one was infinite possibility and opportunity. The prospect of beginning a new project. I said, what's the other one? And he said, I have a deadline and no ideas. And I said, right there with you, brother. I asked another friend, and she said, to begin, just begin. I said, thank you, Confucius, that was very helpful. Another friend said, well, there's some wisdom to that. He said, when I'm faced with a blank canvas, I just put something on it, anything. I'll scratch some pencil on it, I'll put some smudges on it, just so that I'm not faced with this pristine white surface that I'm afraid to violate. So I went back to Word, and all right, anything. Quick brown fox jumped over the lazy dog. I tried dirty limericks, dirty haiku, which is quite challenging. I would recommend it if you want to try. And nothing was coming. And finally, Terry Jones from Monty Python died. And all of a sudden, my subconscious had a lot to say. Monty Python was very important to me growing up. It hit me. I discovered Monty Python at a very critical time in my life where my life could have gone a very bad way. All my life, teachers have been telling me that, if I didn't know how to diagram a sentence or solve for X, that there was no future for me. And suddenly, there were these guys from Oxford and Cambridge who put on dresses and made fun of society and threw out all the rules. And I thought for the first time, oh, you can be silly and smart. There's a place in the world for me. Not that I'm smart or particularly silly, but there was I wasn't on my way out. So Terry Jones was very important to me, and what was particularly awful about his death was the way he went. He died from complications from FTD, which is front temporal dementia, which is different from Alzheimer's in that you are completely fully aware and cognizant as you lose your ability to plan and communicate. And I thought this was a particularly horrible way for a man who his entire body of work as an artist was built on language and communication of ideas. And his work as a scholar, he was a scholar of medieval history who won awards for his teaching. This was a particularly brutal way to go. And I'm a cancer survivor. I spent a month in the hospital coming to terms with my mortality, with arriving to the point where death doesn't hold a lot of fear for me. And Terry Jones's passing in this particular way reminded me that can be worse things than death. And brought back that sense of fear, the idea of leaving this world fading away as a blank canvas. And in the time it took me to think of that, I remembered Dylan Thomas. Don't go gently into that. Good night. Rage, rage against the dying of the light. And so I'm going to rage. And I'm going to keep raging. And no matter what happens, I will continue to rage. And I hope you will join me, because here's how I'm going to rage. I'm going to tell stories. And we have 11 great stories for you tonight. And they're going to make you laugh, and they're going to make you cry, and they're going to make you think, and they're going to make you rage. So let's get started.